Hello, hello, hello. Awesome. So I've been waiting here. Been waiting for a while now to get on board to share the energy. Guys, you guys have been amazing since day one. You've been amazing. You've been following through. You've been dropping the nuggets. You've been tagging us. You've been following our facilitators. You've been popping here and there. Thank you very much. I want to celebrate every one of you who has stayed through to this very day. You have engaged, you've stayed connected. Thank you very much. We are excited to be doing what we are doing here at Skill Factory Africa. And this is an amazing experience at the Skill Acceleration Bootcamp. And today, guys, today we have such an amazing young woman who is going to take us to another level. Guys, you've not had this experience since you joined this experience. You've not had this experience, trust me. So she's an amazing person. I'm going to dive into her bio. Before I do that, I want to make an announcement. Please ensure that you are following us on Instagram at Skill Factory Africa, and also ensure that you are tagging our partner Total Nigeria PLC. Please ensure that you are tagging on all your comments, your posts. Ensure you are tagging them, and you are putting it out there that you have been impacted by these things that we have created today. Yes, today we are having the Blessing Abeng. Just in case you do not know who is talking to you, my name is Andrew Igbinereka, and I'm a team member with Skill Factory Africa. And also, I'm the founder of Go A Bit Further Africa, where we are connecting university students to relevant skills for the workspace. Thank you very much for staying through to this point. Now, we dive into the bio of our facilitator, amazing young woman. I'm just basically going to read her bio, and then we invite her to take the stage. If you are ready for this, guys, leave it in the comment section. I want to see you. Leave it in the comment section. Yes, that's my boss, Andre Moore. Thank you very much. Yes, leave it in the comment section as I bring on board our facilitator for this session. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it in the comment section. Yes, present, present. If you are present, please say so. Yes, Sabi gang, where my guys at? Where are you? Where are you? Show up, turn up for this party, turn up for this party. Yes, 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 we are ready. Yes, so quickly I dive into her bio and then she takes the stage. Blessing Abeng is a branding and communications expert dedicated to helping entrepreneurs identify their value, identify and identity and unique point of view. She helps brands communicate with their team, target audience, partners, and investors. She is also the co-founder of Disha and the director of communications at Ingressive for Good. Guys, you have not seen anything. I don't want to go into the long bio, but do well to follow her on our Instagram page, which is ms.instanet, and she's going to let us know how we can benefit from her platform after the session. Guys, celebrate our trainer who is going to take us on this journey. Guys, put your hands together as we make welcome Blessing Abeng. Come on. And
Hi
just to mention,
everyone. Oh my
I actually
god.
had this
Hi.
red cap to match her lipstick.
I almost felt like I came here with like a red carpet. You guys, your love, your energy, everything is so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today I'm going to be talking to you about okay, wait, let's redo that introduction again. I feel like it was very hyped, but for everybody else who want to understand in very basic, simple terms what I do and who I am. I am simply Blessing Abeng, and that is Blessing and Abeng Abeng. You can Google me, you can search for me on any social media platform, and you'd find me with this beautiful white background and a yellow dot behind my neck, something like that. My what I do is I'm a branding and communications manager, and I try to make that really simple by saying that I help you find the value that you have to offer, and then I help you communicate that value to your audience, to even yourself, to the people who work for you, and etc. To anybody you meet. Really, I can help you communicate that. And that is why I guess I've been invited here today to teach you about the art of selling and leveraging digital. So I'm going to try and keep this as simple and short as possible. Probably I'll keep it to maybe 15-20 minutes so that you get the chance to ask me questions, right? Um, is that great? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I put in effort. COVID has been on, so I haven't really gone out much. So I every little opportunity like this, I take advantage and I put on some lipstick for you guys, right? All right. So let's go right into it, right? Every single day of our lives, we are selling, consistently selling. It's either we're selling ourselves, or we're selling like the things we do, or we're selling our ideas. There's so many things, and we're consistently selling. We're always trying to talk about something that we believe in. We don't know, it's unconscious, like it's so ingrained in us that we don't even know when we're doing it. And we have different strategies for different people, but we don't even know. It's like if you wanted to eat something different for lunch and you had other members of your family in the house, you had to pitch why rice was more important than beans. Well, yam is a better breakfast than eggs. It's like consistently you're pitching your ideas. Every time you go and you say, I want to apply for a job, what you're doing is you're pitching yourself. Every time you say, oh, I want a new customer, pitching your product. Every time you dress up and say, oh, I'm going to post something on Instagram, you're literally pitching yourself. And so consistently we are selling, but a lot of us are not even aware of it, right? And so when it's time for us to now sell our businesses and our products, we start to have heart permutations. It's like doom, doom. What am I going to do? How am I going to sell? Oh, selling, they've come again. What am I going to say? And we forget that we've been doing this all our lives. We've literally been doing this every single day of our lives. So selling is not new. Selling is not special. Don't let anybody make you feel like it's one gang thing. Selling is not special. Selling is not new. Selling is just simple. It's something you're already doing, and you just have to learn how to do it a little better. It is a skill that is learnable, and I'm so happy that you have trusted me to come teach you about that today. So, quick things we're going to talk about before we go into selling in itself. Three things. We're going to talk about your brand, we're going to talk about your audience, and we're going to talk about your service. So, I like to tell everyone branding is made up of three simple things: it is your credibility, your identity, and your communication, right? And a lot of times we think that selling only happens during the communication phase, and that's not true. So, your identity, the moment people encounter you, they already have opinions about you. So, first impression doesn't happen when you open your mouth, it happens before you open your mouth. First impressions happen way before you open your mouth, actually. The moment someone sees you, they already start having perceptions about you, like, oh, is this person poor, is this person rich, is this person articulate, is this person fun, is this person interesting, and all of those little things begin to form reasons why they would either like you or not like you. Now, the first thing you have to remember, I hope you all came here with paper and pens. The first thing you have to remember is not everybody has to like you. Don't come here wanting to sell to everybody. Once you come here and you say, oh, I want to sell to everybody, you've already started making a mistake. And we're going to talk about digital, but the truth about digital is that digital is not that different from offline. Like, online is not too different from offline. What online does is that it makes it easier to magnify whatever we do offline. Like, people say, oh, everybody is now so self-obsessed. We've always been all self-obsessed. It's like we've always taken a lot of things, personal. We've always carried some things on our head. We've always liked pictures, but maybe not physically, but we've always had something to say about other people. We've always had opinions, and it's just digital gives us a chance to be able to express all of that in one space. And that is why I'm saying that whatever happens, offline is a reflection. I'm sorry, whatever happens online is a reflection of what happens offline. So you need to get the basics right first before you start, doing anything else like leveraging digital. So what are we talking about? Back to, you don't need to sell to everyone. Pick someone and sell to them. And that comes with the concept of being the best. You are the best for somebody. I used to, like when I was a kid, I guess my favorite food changed when I became an adult. I'm sure that my favorite clothing brands have changed since I was a child to now that I'm an adult. I'm sure if I lived in the US, maybe my favorite clothing brand would probably be different from what I have right now in Nigeria. Why am I giving you all these examples? At different stages of your life, your best is different. Depending on where you are in life, because of how different we are, the things that we find that we love are different. There's a reason why some people can kill themselves for Wizkid and other people can kill themselves for Davido. They're both great artists, but people have preferences. So don't shoot yourself in the foot trying to please everybody. Just pick one person, focus on them, and then you'd see that it would make it would get easier for you to reach other people, right? So number one, don't sell to everybody. Now, piggybacking on that, you now have to remember that aside not selling to everybody, not everybody is your target market. What do I mean? So something like oxygen, for example, when you listen and we talk about oxygen, it's like every human being breathes oxygen. So we must all be the target market of oxygen, but that's not true. Your target market is, or rather, your target customer is the person who not only needs your product but can also buy from you, like the person who is willing to pay for it. So your target customer is someone who needs your product and is willing to pay for it. So the person is not willing to pay for it. Maybe the person is just an interested consumer. Maybe the person is just an interested person, but not your customer. And so you have to be very aware of that. Back to oxygen. We're not the target market for oxygen. I'm guessing some people would be surprised and they're like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean we're not the target market for oxygen? Well, we're not. The target market for oxygen are the people who can't even afford it. Like, I mean, not afford well, but the people who don't have access to it. So, for example, if someone is going to space, they know that there is no oxygen anywhere else in the galaxy. So, or at least hasn't been proven. So they would have to buy oxygen that they would take to space. And so they become the target market for oxygen. In hospitals where people can't breathe, maybe they're on life support or something like that, they would pay for oxygen because they can't breathe on their own. So they are the target market as well. In places where you cannot have people like NASA are the target market for oxygen. People like hospitals, airplanes, when you fly to higher altitudes in case of emergency, those are the people who are the target market for oxygen. And so you knowing that at the back of your mind, that everybody is not my target market, will help you even sell better. So now we've talked about don't sell to everybody. We've talked about everybody not being your target market. The third thing is you need to tell stories, right? And so I'll tie all this back into digital, but I want to be able to pass on the message as simply as possible, right? Telling better stories is pretty dynamic, right? Tell stories. And when you tell these stories, you're literally saying that, like, I can feel your pain to your customer, right? I'm assuming that a lot of us here have things that we are selling, which is why, or we're interested in selling, which is why we're here, including ourselves. So if you're selling yourself, for example, to an employer, your target market is your employer, right? Is the person in that company, is that person who is hiring you or interviewing you, that is your target market. So when you're selling yourself, you're not going to try and make outrageous stories up. Like I've come to find out that the stories that sell the most are the true stories, are stories that come from a true place, that are based on truths or facts. So for example, if I told you a story about what story can I tell you guys? Okay, so let's talk about maybe one time that I had to sell myself, right? Most of my interviews in my whole life have always been very gisty. Like I've never really sat in front of an interview and felt like my heart is jumping out of because I always think that interviewing is like dating. I don't know why I'm using a lot of interviewing examples, but I think it works, right? So I've never really felt like I'm at the mercy of any interviewer. I just always think that I am bringing value to the table, and that person is also bringing value to the table. That's why we're having a meeting. So that's like dating, literally. And nobody wants to hear you when you're dating or going on a date talk about yourself throughout, like, oh, hey, I'm so cool. I did this, I did that. And that's one of the mistakes people make. You just go into these interviews on or even any selling pitch. You go into pitches and you're just talking about yourself. You're forgetting and ignoring your customer. You're forgetting and ignoring everything your customer has, the pains of your customer, the problems that they're going through. You're just busy just talking about yourself, all the amazing things you've done. Doesn't help you. You need to catch yourself, and then be like, okay, what is the problem that this company is having that they want to hire me? Or what is the problem my target audience or the person that I want to buy from me is having? And how can I reflect their story in the story that I'm telling? A story does not have to start with story, once upon a time. Stories are simply, we tell stories every day. When you come back home and you're like, oh my God, look at what that conductor did to me. You're telling a story. Oh my God, I was stuck in traffic you are telling a story. So the most important things you have to just remember when you're telling stories is that I'm trying to cramp a lot, guys. This art of selling is supposed to be like a full-blown course, and I'm trying to cramp a lot in a couple of minutes. So I hope I am doing a good job, and I hope you guys are not losing me. Right? So coming back to telling stories, your stories must have a target audience. Remember what we said about don't sell to everybody and don't think that everybody's your target market. So go back to that. Your story should have a target market. That's one. Two, your stories must have a beginning and an end. But beyond the beginning and the end, in the middle, you should be able to identify what is the problem that you are solving and what is the solution to that problem. So how are you the solution to that problem? And at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're trying to make your customer come out a hero. Not you. You're not the hero. It is your customer. So imagine you need to wash your clothes, right? Your clothes are dirty. It's your clothes that are dirty. Then Ariel now comes and is like on your TV, and they're like, oh, hi guys, we're so awesome. The way we wash is amazing. Like, when we finish washing, the bubbles, in fact, we are the king of your life. I don't think you would buy from them. You need somebody who's going to come and tell you that I get that your clothes are dirty, but you can use us. Let's use us so we can clean your clothes so that you can get your interview, so that you can win, so that you can be a better businessman and woman. Or, they have to consistently prove to you that you are the star. And so flip that around. I don't know why whenever we're approaching selling, we forget that we also get sold to, and we make the same mistakes that people have made. Like, why we make the same mistakes that we insult people for making? It's like, you don't like people have bad customer service, you hate it when people have bad customer service, but you are choosing to have bad customer service. Why? Right? So 3 things we mentioned: don't sell to everybody, know your target audience, and then know your target audience, and what was the last one? Tell better stories, right? And let your stories be centered around your target market in a way that they come out a hero at the end of the story. Now, I talk about the funnel strategy a lot. So now let's assume that you have done all these 3 things, and then you know yourself based on the fact that we talked about identity. You have figured out yourself. You have great understanding of self as what are you doing here? What does your product do? Why? Like, why do you exist and all of that? The next thing you have to remember is while you're selling, first, like, always come from the perspective of your customer and not yourself. So a good way you can do that is research. How is your customer describing your product? Now, I say this all the time. Your customer may not know your name. They may not know Blessing Abeng, but they know the problems that they have. So they may not know your name, but they know the problems that they have. And so it's super important for your customers for you to be able to speak in the language that your customer as well understands, right? So if somebody is going through, let's go back to that washing clothes option example. If people are having issues washing their clothes, you won't come and be like, use big grammar to explain to us that you clean clothes. you're going to specifically state, are your clothes dirty? Because that's how your audience would describe their clothes. My clothes are dirty and I need to wash them. So you can turn that around and be like, are your clothes dirty? We have a detergent that can make that happen for you, that kind of thing. You have to speak in the language that your audience understands. I see a lot of people complain sometimes and they're like, oh, this ad is not intelligent, this ad does not make sense. And I'm like, maybe you're not the target market for the ad. Just like movies, there's some movies that some people really, really love. If you hear them, the people who love those movies, when you hear them that describing it, you're like, it's not the same movie that I watched that I hated. I could give you examples, but I'm not about to throw shade to the Nollywood industry. So yes, as I was saying, be very mindful of telling your clients or tell them the problems, right? And use their words to explain their problems. That way they can relate even better. The next tip you have to remember, guys, I'm almost done, don't worry. The next tip you have to remember is always state the benefits of what you're selling and not the features. So don't go on any platform and be like, let's assume, what can we sell, guys? Let's sell this. Let's sell this charger, right? This is a charger head, for example. I don't even know. Okay, it's this charger head. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, imagine they wanted to sell this charger head and they were like, it has 3 heads and it has a couple of wires inside. They will probably tell you the technical name. Then they tell you like it's made up of 6 chips that would help you plug your phone or something. I don't know. Just imagine it's black and they were just telling you things about it without telling you what it can do for you. How does that help your life? Imagine if iPhone came and they were like, oh, aside the fact that it has 10 terabytes, or no, let's not be ridiculous. Let's say it has 500 gig storage space, right? But as opposed to telling us that it has 500 gig storage space, they start telling us about the intricacies of what's on the motherboard, what's the kind of operating system, how it's operating. Do you care? I don't think you care. I mean, I don't care. What we care about is what can the iPhone do for me? That's all I care about. What can the iPhone do for me? And so in trying to answer that question of what can the iPhone do for me, Apple is now smart enough to tell you, oh, you can take better pictures with the iPhone 10 or 11. In fact, the pictures are so much clearer. Then they will now show you the pixels. They now show you how clear it is. They now do maybe like a before and after, or iPhone versus other phones. Then as opposed to telling you, oh, we just have 500 gig storage space, they'll tell you, oh, you can store more things on the platform, on your iPhone, which means you never really have to worry about, forgetting your flash or forgetting anything. Everything is on your phone. As opposed to telling you, oh, the operating system is XYZ, they'll tell you your phone works faster, and because they can break it down into benefits that you understand, you're more likely to relate and buy the product. So if you catch yourself maybe always talking about the features of the product that you're selling or the service that you're selling without necessarily telling your audience how it can benefit them, then you're really not helping yourself, right? And now let's go into the whole digital world. I can keep going. As I said, this is like a whole course, right? And there's so many ways, there's so many things people do wrong when it comes to selling. And I'm trying to recalibrate your mind to ensure that you don't make the same mistake. So now going straight into how do you sell online? So I have a funnel strategy that I have taught over and over again, and I'm going to share it with you. But because I'm not sharing any slides or whatever, you could check my Instagram page for funnel content strategy, and that would just sort of make everything I'm saying a little clearer, right? So first thing you have to note, as I said earlier, your audience don't know you, but they know their problems. In the funnel strategy of sales, where's my camera? Okay, yes. In the funnel strategy of selling, right? People go from awareness to interest to consideration to evaluation, then purchase, and then advocacy. Please write this down. I hope you're writing it down. So just imagine your funnel is like this, right? So this full part, this big triangle here, the bigger side is the awareness phase. It's literally where everybody is, which is why 1 million people can be aware, but only 100 people would buy. Or 1,000, let's not be ridiculous. Maybe 1,000 people would buy. So the reason why that happens is because you need a lot of people to be aware about your product to be able to finally convert the one person that is going to buy. However, if you can focus and streamline your strategy, you might not need as large that number, and you might have more quality people being aware of your product. So now we're at the awareness phase, right? Awareness. At this point of awareness, people don't know you, right? They don't know your name is Blessing. I like to use my name. They don't know your name is Blessing. They don't know you're Blessing Abeng, the branding and communications manager. That's in your pockets, you know? They don't know that. What they know is, I need to get my brand on point. I need to, like guys, thank you so much for the feedback. I need to get my brand on point. That's what they know at the back of their minds. That's what's at the top of their brains. So now they know don't worry. I need to get my brand, I need to get my brand on point. Or maybe they don't even know that it's even branding they want. That's even ridiculous. Some people don't know that it's branding that they want. So what they know is Blessing. Okay, yes. Let me give you a practical example of something I've gotten before. Blessing. Everybody's on social media now. And everybody's just, packaging. How can I package? And I get that a lot. And they go to Google packaging. But now people are lucky on my session. So I have the chance to be able to tell you that branding is not packaging. I will go back to the funnel strategy, don't worry. So branding is not packaging. Now what's the difference? So the difference is simple. Let's talk about packaging first. So imagine, just for a moment, close your eyes and imagine that you have a best friend, right? A very amazing best friend. This best friend could be your husband or your wife or just a best friend, really. And this best friend is not in the country. Actually, the best friend is not in the country. Best friend now calls you. Hi, Patricia. Hi, hello. And it's like, I'm sending you your birthday gift. The birthday gift I've planned to send to you. Oh my God, when you see it, people will bow. This person have gingered you. So you're now excited. It's now your birthday. And guess what happens? Your birthday gift is coming. You now see this big truck. Like those big Amazon trucks that do deliveries. Those big ones, like the ones that those ones that carry cement, like Dangote trucks. Right? It's those big trucks, but they have the container. That's how you see Amazon on top of it. This big truck just comes to your area. Everybody's just gathering because, like, normally, trucks don't really deliver like that, except you're buying something really big. So everybody's excited in the compound. Everybody's excited in the area, in the city. What is this gift? Everybody's waiting. You said you brought out your phone. You're just Instagramming it or Snapchatting it like, hey, my friend has come to surprise me. You're excited. Then the guy parks. After parking, guys, I know I'm leading up, but wait, just chill. The guy parks. The truck person driving parks. After parking, the person now struggles to bring out the big carton, very big carton, big, beautiful, loving, amazing, well tied, wrapped. Looks like it might be a car. Maybe it's a car. Do you think it's a car? Maybe not. Maybe it's something really big, Maybe it's not just a car. Maybe it's like a whole home fitting system. We don't know. But you're excited. It's really big. Beautiful package. Then they open this big, beautiful wrapped carton. And then one tiny piece of rag, cloth rag, just drops on the floor. What will you do? Guys, I want to see your comments. Please tell me, what would you do that you were expecting this big gift? This one, you've called all your neighbors, you've posted it you've gone Instagram live to show the world all the things happening in your life. You're excited. And then a simple shred of rag just drops on the floor. What would you do? I'm weeping already. Oh God, Joy, you're in spirit. I'm weeping. I'm that. What? Rag. That, my dear, is the meaning of packaging. That's not branding. Packaging is when you have covered up your content. Not that it's a bad thing, but you have covered up the content so much that you forgot to focus on the inside. You forgot to focus on the content of the package. Do you get what I mean? Branding is the complete package. Branding is my inside is on point, my outside is on point, my whole life is on point. You know, it's like if you see me left, I am, that's how I am. If you see me right, that's how I am. It's like I've told you I am I'm an interesting person, right? Let me say I'm interesting. You go to my Instagram, you see interesting. You go to my stories, you see interesting. You go anywhere you go, anywhere you meet me, you see interesting. If it's not interesting, then maybe. I mean, or just imagine like Kim Kardashian, how we now know Kim Kardashian all over social media, all over the everywhere. Then one day you now see Kim Kardashian in Balogo Market, but she's wearing rags. The first thing that probably comes to your mind is, maybe this was in fashion. Maybe she's wearing Yeezys, you know, maybe it's not rag. That's the difference. That right there is the difference between branding and packaging. So back to the concept, right? So let's assume this person just goes blind. I really don't know what to do. All my life is scattered. Everybody's just getting all my clients. I don't know how am I going to make people trust me? How am I going to get people? How am I going to get clients? How am I going to make people know that I know the thing that I'm talking about? Then this person, guess what? That's what that person's going to be Googling. The person's not going to Google Blessing Abeng. This is going to be like, how can I brand myself? How can people trust my business better? How can I sell my products better? All those things. This is what the person will be Googling. And guess what? When that person is Googling all that, maybe on Instagram, maybe you're searching for it on Instagram, or you're searching for it on Google, or you're searching for it on Facebook, I need to ensure that I've done something somewhere to answer that person's question. And that's the first level of selling yourself, answering your audience questions, right? The potential questions that they have, answer it before they even ask you. So start answering. If you go to my Instagram page, if you search Blessing Abeng and you look for my Instagram page, you will see that there are so many of your questions that you will probably ask me now that I've already answered, right? So first things first, at the awareness phase, your audience is not interested in your brand name. They're just interested in finding solutions to their problems. So they may not know your name, but they know their problem, and they're going to Google solutions to their problems. You have to ensure that when you're Googling solutions to their problems, or when you're Googling their problems, you are popping up with answers. You're like, oh, you have problems with selling, take it. I have this solution for you. You want to increase your follow-up, take it. I have this solution for you. Oh, you want to wash your clothes better? These are different examples depending on your industry. Of course, I don't expect that if you are in the laundry business, you're talking about how people can grow followers. It's not your business, it's not your concern. Your audience are not looking for that information. So always ask yourself, what questions are my audience asking? Go to communities where they're asking those questions, and then pay attention to the comments and say, oh, what questions are my audience asking? Then go to your page and go and answer it, or even answer it in the comment section. That is number one way of selling yourself. The awareness phase, answer them, right? So now we're going straight down into the interest phase. Now, the interest phase is where you've answered their question. So they're not like, wow. Okay, so let's use an example. Let's use Byron, right? Maybe questions you might have about a pen is, I forget a lot. I want to be able to jot things down. So how do I do this, right? You've probably written an article, you sell Byros, or you've probably written an article about facts that suggest that the things that we write, we have more ability to retain them. And so after you've done that, next thing you've done for your audience or your potential target customer has read it and it's like, who is this big that has written such a beautiful and informative or educative content that answers my question? Who are these people? At that point where they're asking who are these people, you better be there. You know, it's like they're interested. But some people just make that mistake of posting on social media, but they don't tell us who they are. Don't tell us what they do. Your bios are not great, because that's the moment somebody's going to click on your bio. So when I click on your bio, can your bio tell me who you are, what you do, and what I can get out of you, like how you can help me? Does your bio say that? That is the point of interest, and that is what you're supposed to be saying. That's what your website is supposed to do. Your about page on your website, that's what it does for you. That's what your bio does for you. To be able to tell us, you're this is what you do, and this is how you can help my life, you know? So that is done, right? So always try to, at the point of interest, be armed with information to let your audience know that you can truly help them and tell them how you can solve their problems. So now they're desiring it. It's like, oh my God, this thing, that's the consideration / evaluation phase. They're not desiring it. You need to come with receipts. You need to come and show them that this thing that I said that I can do, I have track record for it. I've done it here. I've done it here. This is how I did it. This is where I did it. These are testimonials to prove. I have worked with, for example, me now, I've worked with Dark and Lovely, Heritage Bank, MTN, Alamo Bitters. So many people that I've worked with. I'm not, this is not an example. This is like my real life. I've actually worked with those people. And so when I write all these things and you look at me, you're like, this girl knows her stuff. She's smart, you know? And so because I have track record, if you Google me, if you search for me, if you check my Instagram, somewhere, somehow, you find out that, this girl actually knows what she's doing. You know, the people in the comments telling you, Blessing has done this for me. This is what I've learned from Blessing. And so that gives you more trust to be able to buy from them, right? To be able to buy from the person. Now, at the point where I'm about to take actions, little things you do, maybe like giving me a discount, can inspire me to actually take action. Making the process seamless and easy can inspire me to take action. Having great customer service inspire me to take action. And then finally, this is the part that everybody needs. People think after somebody has purchased, that's all. That's not all. Oh. There's advocacy. There's actually advocacy. When people are, oh yes, so favor, I actually worked with Alamo Bitters, and imagine all this my English that I'm speaking. I learned how to speak Pidgin. I didn't learn, I could speak Pidgin. So I went lower than the Pidgin I could speak. So I could speak street Pidgin to be able to appeal to my audience. Whenever I write for them, I just be like, I'll say it out in their voice. I'll be like, can my audience, if I was talking to them, would it make sense? Yeah. So back to the conversation, guys. Finally, advocacy. So when somebody buys from you, it doesn't end there. When they buy from you, what they're saying is, I'm trying your product. Is there a chance that person is going to come back and buy from you again? When they buy from you, is there a chance that they're going to go out and tell their friends about you and, tell those friends to come and buy from you? You always have to keep that at the back of your mind. So how do you improve advocacy? By keeping your customers happy, giving them more so that you can be satisfied. Feature your customers on your page. Give them community discounts. Make them, build the community. And if you can't build a community, be part of another community and add value within those communities. That way you build advocacy. Go beyond just, hey, you bought my product, that's the end. Follow up. You bought my product. How was it? Did it solve your problem? Are there ways we can improve? And when they tell you ways you should improve, actually improve it. Give them credit for that. Be like, oh, Erica told me about how I could improve, and because of Erica, we have improved it. In fact, we've called this process the Erica process. You think Erica would stop talking about your business? Never. Erica will tell her friends, everybody in the world, about you, right? So always remember that when you're trying to sell, be it online, offline. So key things you just need to remember before I round off. When your customer is at the awareness phase, spark interest, answer their solution, answer their questions before they even ask you. Give them solutions to their problems before they ask you. When they're in the interested phase, try your possible best to inform and educate them. When they're in the desire phase, convince them by showing the receipts. When they're in the actions phase, pour action by making the process seamless and easy. And when they're in the advocacy phase, retain them by showing love, kindness, support, and just consistently fulfilling the promise that you have made to them. Because every product you bring is a promise. Every time you say, oh, I sell biros, what you're promising is that this biro is going to write and the ink is not going to finish tomorrow. Every product you sell is a promise. Every service you sell is a promise. So ensure that you are fulfilling that promise every time a customer buys from you, right? And then, the most important thing you have to remember about selling is that the currency is trust. It's not money, it's trust. People buy into trust. They buy from you because of trust. Now, don't expect any thank you if you do your work well. So if I come to you and I buy biro and the biro writes, yay! That's nothing to clap for. The biro was supposed to write. That's why I bought it. So I won't come and tell you thank you because your biro wrote. Yeah. So selling your service exactly as it is, yeah, that's great. That's good. Nobody's going to clap for you. But the day you do a little bit lower, we're going to shout, we're going to scream, we're going to tell the whole world how terrible you are. The example I like to use the most is my tap example, which is if you go to a tap and you're washing your hand and you turn on your tap and it brings out water, you're not going to be like, yay, tap, great job, tap. No, because the tap is supposed to bring out water. But if you turn on the tap and it brings out rusty, smelly water, you're going to scream and tell the whole house that you should not use this tap, or this tap is spoiled, something's wrong with it, something, protect your family and friends. And then if that tap brings out gold, you really can tell hush hush to particular people that you love that you need to buy this particular tap, or it used to bring out gold. We're going to be rich if we buy this tap. And so what I'm just simply saying is, if you perform below expectation, people are going to badmouth you. If you perform on expectation, that is great. Nobody's going to clap for you. But if you do beyond what is expected of you, which is maybe, you as an added service to what you do, you throw in something extra. Maybe you give your clients chocolate, you give them an extra gift, you follow up, to check on them. You do something extra that is beyond what you're supposed to be doing, and you're consistent, they will totally tell people about you. So I hope this helps you sell better. I hope this helps you leverage digital better. Please, I'm available for questions. Ask me questions, and I'm done here. Woo! Andrew, I can't hear you.
Awesome.
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Amazing session. I was just behind, seeing that I have followed you consistently over a period of time. I was just behind, nodding my head.
Yes, you should know all my examples by now.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to encourage you, ensure that you are following her, right? There's no dull moment on her Instagram page. Trust me, there's no dull moment on her Instagram page. You will find resourceful content for whatever questions that you have. But just so we engage you here, I have a couple of questions that I jotted while you were talking.
Okay. Pick my brain. Pick my whole brain.
So guys, if you have questions, please leave it in the comment section. And as much as we have time, I would read your questions and then we'll go through it. Thank you very much for engaging. So the first question is, for a young person starting out, how do they identify benefits from the many features of their products and services?
So remember I said you need to pay attention to what your customer is complaining about. Like,
okay,
as they're complaining, you would know. So a big part of selling is listening, not just talking. Not just being like, oh, hey, come and buy my product. It's also listening, taking a step back and say, what are these people complaining about? Maybe at the time that iPhone was manufacturing iPhone, nobody was complaining about calculator. Nobody was saying, oh, I need a better calculator to calculate. We're more like, oh, pictures. We want more pictures. We want to take amazing pictures, like we're videographers or photographers. And they've paid attention. They've even improved videos because of the creator craze that is going on in this current generation. So when you listen, you would know. You know what benefits matters to your audience. And you can A and B testing is also a great way. Bring out a couple of benefits. And then see how people react to it. Which ones are they bending more towards? And recently we had a session. Disha had a session with. Oh, guys, I didn't even talk about Disha, but yeah, Disha is a one-page site. Disha is a platform that helps you build one-page sites, like one-page websites for free, right? And what people have been doing is they've been aggregating all their links everywhere that it is. Maybe you have Paystack here, you have Instagram here, you have MailChimp here. You can now bring all those things together and put it on your Disha page, right? And so many people have even started using it as their link in bio because it's that awesome and it's beautiful. It's like beautiful. Yes. Am I lying, Andrew?
No.
I was talking to Nigeria brand chick, and she just recently started using Disha, and she is the most visited page right now on Disha.
Awesome.
And we're talking to her, and she was just like, one thing she has learned to do is she aggregates all the services that she has to offer. Everything is aggregated on her Disha page, right? She tells you what your problem might be, and then she aggregates everything on her Disha page. And then what happens is somebody comes to her that, oh, we want consultation, for example. When she says, go to the link in my bio and go and check out consultation, she finds out that same person might also be interested in buying one ebook. And so they end up buying multiple things and showing you the things they're interested in. So you just have to listen and see, what are my audience interested in? What are they always asking me questions about? What solutions, like I've been talking since about how my detergent washes shoes, but my audience are not interested in washing shoes. What they want to wash is clothes. So maybe I should stop talking about shoes and pay attention to what their problems are, and then give them solutions for it. I'll give a perfect example again. I've heard this quote a lot of times by, I don't know, they said it was Henry Ford that said it, that if you keep asking, that if he had asked what they wanted, they would have been like faster horses. They were said faster horses. And I'm like, maybe you're not really listening, because if they said faster horses, their reality at that point is that they know horses. They know horses. But what they want is that they want to go from point A to point B faster. So your ability to listen is important. So you need to ask yourself, this answer that they gave me, why? Why do they want faster horses? Because they want to go from point A to point B faster. So it means they'll buy bicycles, they'll buy disappearing device, they will buy airplane, they'll pay for airplanes, they'll pay for cars, they'll pay for Okada, they'll anything that can just take me from point A to point B faster, I'm going to take it. So you have to develop the habit of listening and then quizzing yourself and asking questions on top of, okay, so why? So why do they want this? What's the problem? What? Always ask the questions. If you ask better questions, you would give better answers.
Amazing, amazing. Just from this question, another power packed feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I wrote down a couple of questions, and just as you were talking about the first question, you answered the
Answered most of
second
them. I mean,
and answered the third as well. So I want to go into the fifth question, which is, how do we narrow down? You talked about audience, and you also talked about, when you want to start out a product, you put it out there, and maybe you, at the first level, you have awareness, and you have like a million persons, interested, basically aware of that product. Now you're trying to get them from that point of awareness to the point of advocacy. Now, my question is, how do we narrow down on the audience we should be serving and not get busy serving the whole world?
oh, that is very simple for me to even answer, Seth.
Okay.
So first things first, depending on where you are in life. So I always tell people, when somebody like me comes and sits in front of you and I give you advice, right? Don't just swallow everything like, oh, because Blessing said it, that's why I have to take it. No. Go back and ask yourself, is this for where I am in life? Is this in line with my goals? Is this in line with my value? Am I the target market of this advice, right? So, for example, if you are a multi-potentialite, like Andrew, if you're a multi-potentialite, you cannot start stressing yourself with well, you can, but you don't have to use the ikigai strategy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go and be like, what do I love? What would give me money? What do I know a lot about? What will solve the world's problem? You don't have to do that. You have to ask yourself, are all these things connected? If they are connected, how can I connect it together and say, this is the service that I am bringing to the table? If you're new, you've not even lived life, maybe you just graduated from school, you haven't really lived life, you don't have a business niching down. Your first 1 year, you should spend it exploring. In fact, your 2 years, explore, try out things. What do I like? Discover yourself. Because it's after you can only niche down. You remember the funnel thing that we said? You can only niche down when there is something to niche. You can only filter when there is something to filter. You cannot be filtering one drop of water. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So back to the question that you asked me. First things first, focus on one person. When you're starting out, focus on one person. Of course, you realize that the hype, I've asked a lot of people, why do you want more followers? Like when people are here saying, oh, please follow Blessing, follow Blessing. To be honest, I really don't care if you follow me or not. I really don't mind. I don't even mind if you come to my page and you just scroll and you go. It's okay. I don't need a lot of people. I know that I'm not for everybody. That conversation we had, I know that I'm not for everybody. Exactly. And so I know my people, and my people know me, and we're okay. We're all happy.
Like Jesus Christ.
If you come to my page and you say, please follow back, I know you're not my person. It means you've not been following us for a while. And I'll take my time to educate you on why follow back strategy is not the best strategy. And that's not really what they sent me here to come and teach you. But follow back strategy is not the best way to grow your audience. Maybe Andrew will teach you. I've taught him before. So he'll teach you. Why? He'll probably tell you, maybe all those people that come and say, oh, please come and share my post by force. I'm like, I don't have to share your post. If I come to your page and I comment, it should be enough for you, because it's like, Understand the value of one person, or somebody who has taken their time. I value my
Fine.
people. If you've taken your time to like my post, even if it's one person, I can't disrespect you. I can't. If I had 100 people in a car with me, can I sit in that car? It will be hot. It will be choking. So why would I disrespect that the fact that I have 100 people following me? Why? When I started
Amazing.
this year, oh Andrew, you know this. When I started this year, I had just 5,000 followers. 5,000. I didn't
Thank you.
ask anybody to follow me. I didn't ask anybody to follow me back. Do you know what I did? I solved people's problems. And that should always be your focus. Focus more on solving the people's problems. Focus more on, if there was one person that I could save today, how do I go about it? Focus on that. Leave the multitude alone. Just focus on
Exactly.
one. The power of one is strong. And then the other, oh my God, Andrew, you're unraveling. You're making me unravel. Maybe you now feel like, oh, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. I don't really like to talk about my business. I like to talk about myself. I don't like, my dear. I have news for you. So first things of one of the biggest tip of social media is know what you want to share and know what you will never share, right? After you have dealt with that part, the next thing you have to also remember now is, I know what I want to share, I know what I don't want to share, but I also need to remember that I am here to be of service to people. It would not make sense for a surgeon to be like, I'm a surgeon, but today I'm not in the mood to be a surgeon. Like anybody wants to die today can die. But you have a solution that you can, because everybody's going through some sort of cancer. The problems that you're going through, it's paining them. And you are sitting down in your house and be like, I'm shy. I'm not in the mood today. You're killing somebody.
Yeah.
Literally. You're killing somebody. You not talking about your product is killing somebody. So how about you try your possible best to share, share, serve. That is what service is like. This is my skill, oh. I have it, oh. Come and take it. Only thing is you have to pay me for it. That's it. That's really it.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, just one last question before we wrap up.
Ask me fast. Ask me fast. I have a 7 o'clock class.
Okay, you made mention of that it's important that we join a community. If we cannot start a community, join a community and be a valuable
Active.
contributor to that community. So, how do we identify the right communities for our brand, especially for people who are just starting out?
Perfect. So is that community inspiring you? When you see the people out of that community, is it something that you wish, like, oh, I wish I had this? Stop wishing, just join, just be part of it. When you see how they're engaging, if you love their energy, go there, experience that energy more. If you notice that they're always answering your questions, like before you even ask, it's like they've told you, go there, be part of the community. But remember that communities are not about the leaders of the community. So don't go to a community being like, oh, I want to go and farm Andrew. Oh, I want to go and farm Silem. I want to be friends with everything I had. Don't do that. Go to communities of everybody else in that community, because Salem, Blessing, Andrew, all of us were just like, we're catalysts. We're just bringing you all together. You would have found your way to each
Yeah.
other without us at some point. So focus on, why am I in this community and what do I hope to gain, right? How goals within your community. Like Skill Factory. Thank you, Debbie. Like Skill Factory. Look at, I'm here giving you nuggets, for free. Ask Andrew again. It's not easy to get me. But here I am, just dishing all of they've added value to your life. But don't just take
Yeah.
the value and go and sleep. Think about things I've learned. How can I impact other people in the
Factory.
community? How can I help somebody else in the community? What do I have that I can share with somebody else? Just hold everybody's hands together and grow together.
Grow together. Yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. This has been so much enlightening. Thank you very much for agreeing
Thank
to do
you
this
for
with us. Right?
having
Thank
me.
you for, and I'm honored to be anchoring, to be moderating this session. I'm really honored. Thank you
I
very
heard
much,
it was
guys.
statistically powerful. So yes, I recognize. I sabi.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much, guys. You
Thank
have
you for
to
having
follow
me.
Blessing Abeng. You have to follow her. She sabi run things.
Yes, so
Guys,
yes.
so in the comment section, I want to see you give our facilitator for today, give her a standing ovation. I would have,
Oh, you guys,
loved
you're
to
so
stand for them.
kind.
Give her a
Oh my
standing
God.
ovation and head on to her Instagram page. Follow her. See, it's very simple. Just go on Google. Google Blessing Abeng. You will find her everywhere.
Yeah,
You
I'm
will find her
familiar.
everywhere. So ensure that you follow her. Ensure that you are not just following her. Ensure that you are engaging. Remember, her community is not just about her. It's about the
What about
people.
me? Oh.
So engage with the people. Engage with the people. It's a family, guys. And ensure that you are tagging us on your feedback that you are posting on social media. Ensure you are tagging Skill Factory Africa. Ensure you are tagging Blessing Abeng. Ensure that you are using relevant hashtags. Guys, it has been amazing. I know you've had a swell time. I know you've had a swell time. I've had a
Thank you,
swell time. I
guys.
know you've had a swell time. Right. So let's say thank you to Blessing Abeng. Victoria
Thank
Thank
Nana,
you.
you.
over
You
to you.
are the real deal. Lots of love. I'm coming to your DM maybe later by tomorrow. Let's allow you to rest. In fact,
I'm not even going to rest.
thank
I
you
have a
so much.
class. My new training is starting
Yes.
today, so I have to
Okay,
run.
okay, great. All right,
Take care,
bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye. So guys,
Oh my
let's
God,
ensure that
Andre,
we
the
are
red
tagging.
catchy.
Okay. I want to do that dance.
Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry, my video cannot show, but then I'm dancing
No
as well. I'm
problem.
sure everybody's dancing in their houses. Sabi Gangway.
Yeah. So guys, let's go on Instagram and let's follow, let's engage. I want to see the energy. I'll be responding to the comments. I'll be interacting with you. We'll be engaging with you, sharing everything. Guys, let's tag our sponsors, our partners, our
Not
partner,
sponsors, partners,
Total,
yeah.
our partner, Total Nigeria PLC. Let's also engage the
Go a
comments.
bit
What you learned
further.
here.
JCI.
Let's learn here. Please let's comment. Tag Go a bit further Africa. Tag JCI. Tag Lead Project. Guys, let's engage and follow all this platform for more. Guys. So if you're on the Telegram channel, whatever resource materials that we are going to communicate it to you. Victoria, over to you.
Francie baby, Abi, what did she say I should call her? Sorry, I'm not with my glasses. What did she write? They said, call me Francie Sabi. All right, come on, let's call her Francie Sabi. Amazing. Thank you all, guys. This is a wrap for today. See you tomorrow. Andrew, starting by 12 tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're leaving the replay up till 9 p.m. today, so you can catch the replay. For those of you, you can tell people on the Telegram channel to catch the replay. Tell them how amazing this section was, because I'm certain that many people are still stuck in traffic and all of it. But thank you so much, Andrew, for doing this seamlessly as always. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. No, proceed. You were talking. I've not ended yet.
Also, please, whatever you have learned here, what comes to us as benefit is that you are able to apply it in not just to fill your notes. Please, let's apply what we have learned. Right? Thank you very much, guys. Signing out.
Please, Andrew, answer. Are you from Benin? Before we go out.
Yes, I'm from Benin.
It's all right. All right, guys. Bye. Have a great night.
All the way from Ekosodi.